Hi guys, it's Anut and I'm back with another video. And this time it's about our profile class. This class makes our dating website a dating website. It's where we store information about our users. We can display it to other users and we can use it to match users to other users. So this is basically what a dating site is all about. Let's get on with some coding. I have here, of course, my Visual Studio, and we are going to add our new class to the models folder. Add a new item, and let's call it profile. And there's our class. Let's resize this for a bit. First off, we always need a primary key for this kind of model class. So let's add it. Public int id get set. Now there is a quicker way to add properties to classes. You can simply use the prop code snippet like this. But it's sort of broken right now. You can hit tab and it won't work. If you type a space and then go back and tab, then it does work. Not sure what's going on here. I think it's just a bug maybe. Or maybe they changed the shortcut for code snippets in Visual Studio. Anyway, let's just type them out. Second thing we would like to register is our sort of display name or nickname for the user. So let's call it public string display name. Then we'd like to store the user's age, but storing the age itself would not be useful since the user would have to log in every year and change his age because we don't know when his birthday is. So let's just add the birth date. Public date time birth date get set. Let's also add the height so we can know whether a person is short or tall. Let's add a short description. And the occupation. Let's add a profile picture, but I'm going to store it as a string, and the string will contain the path to the image file on the server. And then let's also do something different, like for example, whether the user smokes or not, but that could be a boolean. So let's add a third value, whether the user is an occasional smoker or a heavy smoker or a non-smoker. So for this we can add an enumeration. Let's just add it at the top of this class. Public enum smoker type. And then between the braces we can add values. For example, let's add no, occasional, regular, and heavy. So the user can then choose between these values for this input field. Let's add the input field itself by creating a property public smoker type smoking. So, and this will generate a drop-down field where the user can choose between these values. So what else can we do here? Well, we can change the content of the labels that are displayed in front of the input fields. So for example, now the labels will contain these names like display name, birth date, height, description, occupation, and profile picture. But maybe we would like to have a space in between profile picture, but we can't because property names in C# don't allow it. We can do this with data annotations. So let's take this one as an example. And the one we need is display. Let's add the namespace using system component model data annotations. And then here we can set the name to profile picture. And this will be the actual content of the label. So maybe there is one more we want to change. Let's copy paste this to height and then specify that we want the user to enter his or her height in centimeters. We can change birth date. Well, we can change it right here. And the display name, let's change it to display name with a space and a lowercase n for the label. So I guess that's it for the labels. What else can we do? We have to link this profile to the application user class we created earlier. How can we do this? Well, for example, we can add a profile to the application user like this. Let's go to the application user class and let's add a public profile. Get set. And now the user will have a profile. It's as simple as that. We can also add a navigation property from the profile back to the user. So we can go to the user when we only have the profile, which would be handy for coding, by just typing public application user. Let's resolve this namespace using Stardate models identity. User get set. And now we can navigate both from the profile to the user and from the user to the profile in our code. Now, Entity Framework doesn't know where to put the foreign key. And if you're familiar with relational databases, this is pretty essential. So right now, these relations are equal on both sides. And we have to say, okay, where are we going to put the foreign key? We can put it here or here. So let's put it here and add a property. And let's explicitly specify it to be a foreign key by using the foreign key data annotation. And for this we have to add a namespace system component model data annotations schema. And then we can say that this will be the foreign key of profile. So next up, it might be nice to add a table to our database with profiles. For this, we can go to our application DB context and simply add a DB set of type profile. And let's name it profiles. So Entity Framework knows to create a table in the database with the name profiles. And then finally, we could specify that a profile will be made for the user when he registers on the website. So for this, we will go to the account controller. And then where we register the user in the register method, we will say profile is new profile. And that's it. This will create an empty profile for every new user. So let's save this. And let's update our database with the new changes. In the Package Manager console, we will use add migration and let's call it profiles. And it will generate a script that will update our database. So let's run this script by typing update database. And there might be a problem here because, as you can see, the new column in the user table is not nullable. And this means that a user requires a profile ID. You might have gotten an error here when updating the database if you already have users in this table, because then you don't have profiles for them. So then you can connect to your database and remove the existing users. For this we have the Server Explorer. Now I already have a connection to my database, but if you don't, you can add it here by connect to database and then click browse and browse to your database file. But I already have it, so let's just open it. And then, as you can see, it has already generated the new table. If there are any users, you can simply right click on ASP.NET Users, show table data, and then remove any row here by clicking on delete. If you then run update database, it should work fine. As you can see here, the migration did add a profile ID to the user table, and also it created the profiles table itself with all the columns in our profile class. So that's it for this video. In the next ones we will be adding stuff to generate controllers and views from our model classes. I hope to see you then. For now, thank you for watching.